Okay, so for our first example under washer or ring method, so let's have example 1.5 in your handout. And let's find the volume of the solid generated by revolving the region between the curve y equals x squared plus 1. So this is a parabola and the line y equals negative x plus 3, which revolves about the x-axis. So the axis of revolution is the x-axis. So I will include that for the sa updated na version ng ating handout. So this should be x-axis. Okay, so to sketch the graph, so ito yung graph ng ating function. So the parabola is our y equals x squared plus 1 is the parabola which opens upward. The vertex is at 0, 1. Okay. So the blue line is our graph ng y equals negative x plus 3. So yung graph natin, yung parabola at ang line ay nag-intersect at negative 2, 5 at nag-intersect siya at 1, 2. So you can compute for the points of intersection using either elimination method or substitution method. Okay, so the axis of revolution is the x-axis. Okay, and then for us to use the washer method or the ring method, we will be using the vertical element or the vertical rectangular strip na naka-perpendicular sa axis of revolution, but in this case, since ang ating region ay hindi naman nagtatouch dun sa axis of revolution, so definitely we will be using the washer method. Okay? So the upper function, so dito pa lang makikita na natin, we can identify that the upper function of the region is our line y equals negative x plus 3, and the lower function or the lower curve is our parabola, which is y equals x squared plus 1. The region will be extending from this line, and this is this is x equals negative 2. So your lower boundary or your lower limit is your x equals negative 2, and hanggang saan siya? Hanggang dito sa kanyang right boundary, which is at x equals 1. Okay, so kung titingnan natin yung ating region, so ito yun, this is the region itself, and when you revolve it around the x-axis, ang itsura ng kanyang solid is this one. So you see, merong butas sa gitna kasi yung ating strip na to is actually not touching the axis of revolution. Okay, now based on our cross-section ng ring method, ng ring or ng washer, so we can now identify the r of x or the outer radius and the inner radius. Okay, so yung ating outer radius, which is the r of x, so that will be from the upper function. So the upper function is the parabola, or no, sorry, it's the line. That's y equals negative x plus 3. Up to where? Up to y equals 0. So your r of x is equal to negative x plus 3, so that's the line, minus y, and that's the x, minus 0, and that's the x-axis, so that's y equals 0. Okay, and then your inner radius, our inner radius, the small r of x, is the lower function of the region, and that is the parabola, which is x squared plus 1 minus the axis of revolution, which is y equals 0, and that is minus 0. So the r of x is your negative x plus 3, and your inner radius small r of x is x squared plus 1. Now let's have the lower limit. As I mentioned earlier, our lower limit is negative 2, and then your upper limit is x equals 1. Okay. So let's substitute these values dun sa ating formula ng volume ng solid. So the volume is equal to pi, or is equal to the integral of pi times the quantity of the square of the outer radius minus the square of the inner radius dx. Okay, now let's substitute the r of x. So that's negative x plus 3 minus 0 quantity square minus x squared plus 1 minus 0 quantity square. Although dito na simplify na natin, pwede na naman siyang tanggalin yung minus 0 at saka yung minus 0, pero mas maganda na mas makita ninyo na yung minus 0 dito is yung axis of revolution, and that is y equals 0. Okay. Now you square negative x plus 3, expand, and then you square x squared plus 1, and then you expand. Then we have this expression. So kapag na-expand natin to, in-expand natin to, then sinimplify, we have this expression. You may try to compute it para makita natin kung tama ba yung aking recent na integrand. Okay, so that is 8 minus 6x minus x squared minus 4x, and then that's dx evaluated from negative 2 to 1, and that will be multiplied to pi. Okay, so integrating 8, and that is 8x. Integrating negative 6x, so that's negative 3x squared, and then integrating x squared, so that is minus x cubed over 3, then minus integral ng x to the 4th, so that's x to the 5th over 5. That's evaluated from negative 2 to 1. Then you substitute the values, or you substitute the limits to sa ating integrals. So that gives us, oh by the way, this is a typographical error. So napadami lang si pi. It should be 1. Only 1 pi. Okay? So if you simplify this expression, so our volume is approximately equal to 117 pi over 5 cubic units. Thank you.